So as we're getting ready to head to Mexico, we realized we have been on the road for 1 year.
By really fast.
Yeah, January 31st is the day we started our year of travel to see if we could do it. So we thought we'd sort of talk about some of the things we learned along the way.
Yes. So what do you think was the biggest challenge?
For me, the biggest challenge was trying to manage work and all of the things I wanted to do. Like, especially because the big start with all of us was in Italy. I was in Mexico and in and out of other places before Italy, but I was by myself, so that was easier. But with everybody wanting to do stuff and me having deadlines, it was really hard. I was surprised at how hard it was for me to make that adjustment. I was sad a lot because I had to work. But
Couldn't always come out with us.
But
Yeah.
I did learn how to manage my schedule a little better and move things around, and I would usually take 1 or 2 days a week and just work longer hours so I had shorter time on the other days and could ditch out for the weekends and stuff like that. So, but that was for me the biggest challenge. And as I accepted a new job, my responsibilities now are increasing. So I have a feeling I'm going to go through another adjustment period in Mexico.
I think the jet lag really kicked my ass this time on a couple of legs, and I experienced jet lag in the past, but it was really bad a couple of times. So that was my biggest challenge, one of them anyway.
I just sleep. It doesn't bother me.
No, it was, there was a point where it was 2 weeks or more before I was functioning well. So that was a big challenge. So we're going to try and travel north-south this time. No jet lag.
Well, this time, but he wants to avoid jet lag in the future, and I'm like, but not when we're trying to go to 60 countries. Sorry.
When we go to Europe, I think maybe we could just do like a New York, Iceland,
To me,
Ireland.
that's worse. Like, just get there and get it over with. That's,
Jet lag.
anyway.
The other big challenge for me was the emergingness of emerging countries. One of the things that is a hallmark of an emerging country versus a developed country is the lack of systems that emerging countries have. And so it really takes a lot of patience to get things done that in developed countries we're used to just, it just gets done. So, like going to the bank. If you go to the bank and you have a bank transaction, it just gets done. Doesn't matter who you talk to or what time you come in, as long as they're open or what have you. Maybe there's a specialist you have to wait for or something, but in emerging countries, it's more of who you talk to or who feels like doing it. Or not everyone knows how to do even the simplest transactions. Someone's at lunch or they're out that day. There was just trying to get money exchanged in China. It took 4 trips to the bank and hours each time. So you just have to learn to be patient, and that's part of the adventure of traveling.
Okay.
The other thing was the weight limit on checked baggage for us too. We're finally there, but we had to do some maneuvering and really
That was one of my
repacking.
big lessons I learned. I learned how to pack really well.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about lessons we learned. How to pack.
When I started, it's funny because I posted, I did a trial pack 2 weeks before we were leaving. And I had 2 bags and I wanted, so it's like, it was just, I took way too much stuff. So in my first few months, I whittled down to just 1 checked bag and my backpack. But I even whittled down more now. It's like, I realized, we go to places, we try to get an Airbnb that has Wi-Fi and a washer and dryer, or at least access to a washer and dryer. So,
or a better one that doesn't have access, so that we just have somebody come pick up our laundry and bring it back.
That was great
folded.
Where were we?
Playa de
Carmen.
Yeah.
Carmen, not Karma.
Yeah, it's good karma.
And I think that was my biggest lesson, is just how much stuff that I really don't need on the road.
Yes, same here. And I'm down to 1 bag at 22.6 kilos. We just got it weighed. And I can live anywhere in the world that's not cold indefinitely. And that's one of the other things, is that the cold weather gear takes up so much space and weighs so much.
Mm-hmm. And so I think another big lesson is learning how to just find cheap flights and how to book good Airbnbs. I feel like I've been very lucky with the Airbnbs that we've booked, but I do a lot of research. I read reviews. I just do a lot of looking. It always makes me a little nervous when I go to hit that book button because I'm like, ah. But, and then just being relentless in the search for cheap fares as well, because obviously we are not made of money. And so, although my children think we are.
Yeah, they do.
So we're trying to obviously save costs as much as possible because we know that there are some things that we want to do that are going to be very costly. So we have to make up for it in other ways. So I think that was the other big thing, just to be persistent, keep looking. Don't, just settle for the first decent flight you find, because usually you can find something better. And then the other thing is I always check first class or business class fares, because sometimes with the bag, if you have to pay for additional baggage, those fares sometimes even out, and so maybe it only is like an extra $30 to go first class. We found that on 2 Mexico flights, and so you get to go first class. You don't have to pay for your bags, and it's good. So that's another big lesson that I learned.
Yeah, I guess the amount of time that it takes to really find the best
He doesn't.
deals.
I don't think he still gets it.
No, I get it because we do it. Yeah, that was a big lesson. It takes a lot more time than you think. We're getting better at it too.
Yeah.
Still, there's just so many variables involved with it as well. Something you found out you can't live without. Well, while you're thinking, I realize I can't live without a gym.
Yeah, for me, Wi-Fi. I can't live without Wi-Fi. I literally can't, because I can't work.
Right.
So my iPhone, because I listen to a lot of music when I'm walking and stuff like that. I don't know. I guess there's not really much.
Well, the iPhone is really, or any smartphone is indispensable in terms of maps, translators, currency conversion, pictures of your passports and boarding passes or whatever you need, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I would say that, and good comfortable shoes. So those are the things I can't live without. Nothing really major though.
Yeah, I just need my gym.
But you can find other ways to work out if you had to.
Well, that's the thing, is that I don't like other ways.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah, and what did you find that you didn't need? Stuff that you thought you couldn't live without,
Everything.
and you realized that it's not
I
that big a deal.
didn't need as much makeup and products that I brought, because first of all they always have them. So like one of the things, I carry a small shampoo and conditioner with me, and just in case I don't get to a store right away. But for the most part, I just go buy a small bottle of shampoo and conditioner at the local store. Most countries have the things that you're looking for, so you don't need to travel with big, shampoos and soaps and stuff like that. So
amazing how little you really need to not just function but be comfortable and enjoy things. We, I think in the West we get bombarded with having to buy more stuff.
Well, and
you don't need it. I mean, we each have one suitcase. We can live anywhere in the world. That's not cool. Definitely.
Well, I think the thing is we were trying to bring a lot of the things that we liked from home, but part of our journey is to experience local cultures. So we're trying to do more of that. So we're trying to not be set in our ways so much.
Anything else you can think of?
Only that it's frustrating as there have been that the year has been, and it has been frustrating at times. I mean, we're trying to manage our schedules with our kids. I'm trying to work while we're traveling, so there's definitely been frustrations and challenges along the way. But for the most part, I wake up grateful that I created this life, that we created this life, that we get to do this, and that everyone's like, do you miss a home? I don't miss having a home at all. I'm not sure that that's always going to be the case.
Yeah,
but
it'll change over the years for sure.
I'm so excited at just going to the next place, and because we're not staying short periods of time at places, I think it's also helpful that we're not always packing and unpacking. That we're staying a month.
Yeah,
and
that's got to say one of the things that I like the least, or dislike maybe is the word, is the constant packing and unpacking. But like Kim said, because we're there for a month or more, it's not that bad.
I even have that figured out. I have this great little shelf thing that all my clothes fit in, and I just take it off of the hanger or off of the rod that hangs on a rod, and I put it in my suitcase, and when I get to my next place I take it, and then I have access to all of my clothes. It's pretty awesome, actually.
And I have a similar system where it literally rolls up in my suitcase and goes in, and then when we get to the Airbnb, it unrolls, it hangs up on the rod in the closet, and there are all my shirts and everything I need just ready to go. Yeah, so there's ways to make it easier, but I don't think I really want to be like in a few days in one place and just ended up moving all the time.
I'm excited for year 2.
in 2. And this will be a truer year 2 because
Yes.
I was based in China for 3 months, every 3 months. Well, every 6
I
months.
moved around a lot more than he did last year.
So I had a place in China that I kept all my stuff and lived there for 3 months,
Yeah.
leave, and then could come back to. So, but this will be a little more of a true year on the road for me.
And we're really trying to tackle 10 countries. So we're starting off the year in the US, and we did some fun stuff here. Now we're off to Mexico City, and we'll be traveling south, staying warm until mid-May when we have to come back and do some kid stuff. And then hopefully over to Europe for the second half of the year is sort of what it's looking like right now. So
We'll see what happens.
I know. We're letting prices and flight availability dictate where we go next. So we'll
Masters of our own destiny, we're letting fate take its course.
which he doesn't believe in fate, but I do. Anyway, so there's a little recap of our year on the road, and we're looking forward to year 2.
See you next year.
No, it's already next year.
See you this year.